Pretty excited to be casting again this week. On Friday I actually didn't have any games, which made me kind of sad. But today I have games, so that makes me happy. Spawning up here in the top right hand position here on Daybreak for Chronic Fracture, we have DSSlayeR. In the bottom left hand corner for Team Elite, we have Angelwrath. Players a little bit of banter, talking about what they're hoping will get removed, so I'd have to agree with them. I'm ready for Daybreak to go away. It's been around for just so long. Be nice to get some new map blood in here, and I think it is going away this next season, so that'll be exciting. And so far we have nothing odd out of both of the players. This is a PvP, so pretty aggressive. We'll have to see how that goes. Oh yeah. I didn't know what the hotkey for was that was last week, but now it's there, this stuff down here. So that'll be good. We'll see what's actually going on with the units, if they have enough energy, things like that, for oracles and phoenixes when they come into play, without having to just look right here, you know, stuff like that. See what's researched, all that good stuff. Can I actually click through it? Oh, I can. Ooh, that's weird. It only shows like 2 buildings. Alright, so Angelwrath getting the first scout out here. He sent it out early, unlike DSSlayeR. So the gas just now being taken at 15. That's a little weird. That's a pretty late gas out of both players right now. Which generally kind of leans more towards Gateway Expand builds, but that's not really common in Protoss versus Protoss. So kind of weird that they're both dropping their gas so late. Now, double gas is going down for Angelwrath, so that kind of makes sense. And right now it looks like he might be positioning himself to gas block if a probe moves over here and starts to think it's going to be dropping one. And we have the cybernetics core going down up here. This probe's starting to get attacked. And Slayer you know, scares him off and then drops down the assimilator, so the gas steel did not go down, and he's going to start scooting out of there as a Soccer will probably be the first unit being built from that gateway. We have 2 workers on each one of these gases here, so he wants to show that he has both of the assimilators taken, but not necessarily be harvesting quite as much gas. Now it's up to 3-3. So he's definitely going to be going into his tech here in a second, and we'll just have to see what each side drops down for their first tech building. Is it going to be star gates, or is it going to be robos? I'm not exactly sure. And we have a proxy pylon over here at Angelwrath, so he might be getting pretty aggressive. Stargate is down in the back. Did he actually... Yeah, it's been scouted though. Seems to be pretty careful. He's going to know that that's coming, and it'll be interesting to see if he goes for a Phoenix or Oracles off the bat here. Stargate down for Slayer as well. But I don't think Angelwrath knows about it. No, he does not know that a Stargate is the tech of choice over there. He's going to scoot back into his base. Both players should be able to deny all the scouting now with their stalkers up. Kind of weird to proxy that pylon and then not drop more gateways. Guess he just wants to have it out on the map just in case. Okay, yeah, there are the more gateways. That makes more sense. 3-gate Stargate. Not all in. It's definitely a build that gets used in PvP quite often. You want to be pretty aggressive off of one gate most of the time. And both of them going for the exact same thing, so not too surprising here. Now, DSSlayeR is quite a bit ahead, actually. He has 4 more probes, which is kind of a big deal. And it looks like after that first Phoenix, which is scouting across the field right now and is going to run into 2 stalkers and another Phoenix, he's going to start moving into Void Rays, which is pretty common. Looks like he canceled it and moved it into a Phoenix now because he sees that a Phoenix is out, which means he wants to win the air wars. And the first death goes to DSSlayeR, kills off Angelwrath's Phoenix, so now he's going to be permanently ahead in the Phoenix count. He's going to be up a whole Phoenix the rest of the game, as long as there's fairly consistent Phoenix production and micro, which is a pretty big deal. Alright, Warp Gate is finishing up here. 2 Phoenixes and a Stalker and a Zealot out here in the front. And it looks like DSSlayeR wants to be taking his expansion right now. He's not letting his minerals build up, though. He's doing a lot of warp-ins. A pylon dropped on the low ground. Angelwrath already picking up his expansion. He has a mothership core out. It's going to be able to photon overcharge here in just a little bit. 30 in-game seconds to be exact. Something like, I don't know, 22 seconds or something. 23 seconds in real life. So that should be coming along here pretty soon. But a pretty decent sized attack out of DSSlayeR here. He's got his pylons coming along behind it. 4 phoenixes. And there was a warp in back at the base because this front pylon hadn't been finished. Photon overcharge isn't going to be quite ready, but pretty close. Another proxy pylon going up. And now that everything, he's just waiting for this last stalker to get across the field. And now he's going to move up. But the photon overcharge is ready. However, lots of probes being built here for Angelwrath. I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold this expansion. Photon overcharge going down. Phoenix is coming back from across the map. He has 4 as well. And one of DSSlayeR's Phoenixes is actually pretty wounded. But he hasn't dropped an expansion, so he's quite a bit ahead on units, actually. So it's going to be pretty difficult for Angelwrath to hold this expansion. But if he does, he should be getting ahead because he's going to be able to harvest from this bottom base, spread out his probes a little bit better, and get just more production through more income. However, back at home, let's see. Okay, it's the same infrastructure. It's 3-gate, Stargate for both of them right now, so nothing too shocking. No Void Ray coming out of that Stargate, though. When you're floating that much, you probably want to start on that. Another Warp coming down, though. Photon Overcharge finishes up. A Phoenix gets picked off. Will any list be going down here out of Angelwrath? And he starts backing up, taking a lot of hits right now. And it looks like he might just be sacrificing that expansion. He's not sure. There's 5 Phoenixes on the field. He has quite an advantage there. He's going to try and save these remaining probes, but all 4 of them actually going down, and he loses his expansion. In the meantime, he did a warp in back on his side, on the other side of the map, and these 2 zealots might actually be able to deal a lot of damage. There's no warp in available for a few seconds over here. 1 probe going down, 2 probes going down. Oof. Alright, Phoenix out on the field. It's going to be able to lift, but it's not actually going to be able to do any damage. However, it does lead it to a 2-on-1 battle there on the ground. And will he micro this? No, he's not going to, because there's a lot of attack coming in at the front right now. No photon overcharge available, and that mothership core is going to go down with even driving a time warp. 2 force fields going down, but they're not really that effective quite late, as it looks like he's trying to micro over in the middle line of the opponent. And it looks like DSSlayeR in a really good position to take this fight right here. It really depends on which player's warping is coming up next. Phoenix is trying to get lists. Stalker's moving up. Probes being pulled off the line. Always a desperate situation when that starts. Stalker's starting to kite back. A Stalker does get trapped, but all the probes going down here, and it looks like Angelwrath might be forced to tap out of this game here in just a second. Void Ray coming out, though. Void Rays deal tons of damage. Overcharge going down, and they're going to slowly drive this army back, but at what cost? Both players not actually producing anything. 3 Stalkers being warped in, and are they back at home? Yes, they are. So it looks like that aggression is stopping for now. Now it's time to kind of take a look at Facture. Facture, okay. Lots of workers killed there by DSSlayeR, though. So. Probably talking about the force field that was missed there at the top of the ramp, which led to that big attack. And now he's quite far behind on probes. So as long as Slayer doesn't fall too far behind, I'll update it. Don't worry. Alright, it looks like DSSlayeR should have the opportunity to just finish him off here, but there's a force field, so I guess he's being careful because of that. But if he just sweeps in, now there's 2, and picks off those sentries, which is what you can definitely do with these Phoenix. Phoenixes, meanwhile, for Angelwrath back on this side of the map, trying to cut off reinforcements, at least from the air army, but there are 3 Phoenixes coming back to deal with that right now. A probe getting picked off. These 3 Phoenixes are weakened now, so they're not going to be able to take on the 3 Phoenixes of his opponent, and a 4th Phoenix is about to come out. These 2 Stalkers are going to drive it away. And it looks like DSSlayeR's just going to back off. He knows his Nexus is going to finish. He's got to know it. He's very far ahead in worker count, so he's in a pretty comfortable position. And it looks like the Phoenix is all being picked off here, actually, of Angelwrath. So now it's 4 Phoenixes to none. 2 Void Rays, the entire air armada left out of Angelwrath for this game. Sucker's just kind of moving around the map. Not really sure what they're doing. He's got to know that there's a proxy pylon on his side of the map. But it looks like Angelwrath might just be going for one push to try and take out the army in the middle of the map and just kind of hope that he can get away with it. But DSSlayeR should just, yeah, he's just going to go ahead and back on home. So he's going to be in a very comfortable position for staying alive. All he's got to do is hold this one last desperate attack and he should be all set. His Twilight Council is finishing up. His Twilight Council is forged. He has his tech going in the background. He's on 2 base. Pretty well saturated. 39 probes to 18. So it's really just what can Angelwrath accomplish with his last push. It's his last chance right now. He does have that pylon pretty close to his enemy's base, so he's going to be able to get some pretty decent warp-ins. It's not really that long of a run up into the main fight, though ideally you'd want it a little bit closer. And Chronos are going out on all of those gateways. He wants to mass up for this last attack. Now 3 Void Rays is a lot of Void Rays, but there's cannons here, and that's definitely what you want to do in DSSlayeR's position, because really what can it hurt to do that? Alright, some force fields going down in the exact same position, overlapping each other. Guardian Shield is up though. These Void Rays taking out these 2 Phoenix, and now they're going to be able to deal a lot of damage, but their charge just wore off, so it might be time to back up and wait a second for another try, but really, one of the Void Rays going down, the other 2 moving forward. Those cannons all still alive, no damage actually done to them at all, and the number of units out on the field right now is 5 Stalkers, 2 Void Rays to now 8 Stalkers with 3 cannons. It's just looking pretty grim here for Angelwrath. Overcharge not quite yet available again on those Void Rays. Stalker's getting bunched up. This is pretty much as good of an engagement as he can hope for, but he's going to go ahead and call GG, and the first game goes to Team CF.